All right, let's move it into Phase 4. It's 2021. Phase 4 is here. There's new stuff coming out all year. We'll visit the calendar before we wrap up today. Let's give a spoiler alert right now. Just as a reminder, this is the 25th title in the MCU, Phase 4, and this is Episode 5. So we always like to set it up before we kick it off. So just last week, kind of recap, the big thing was Captain America murdered a man in the middle of the street with a shield.
Not a big deal.
And this is the episode right after that. And holy shit, I'm so excited to talk about this with you guys and talk about, I mean, if you guys want, we should just get right into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, first scene is exactly what the Giggler called a 2-on-1 handicap match. Immediately. Which, of course, I think you called it, but, like, well done. This is unbelievable, this fight scene.
Part of it even reminded me of a wrestling match because when they all collided in air in the middle of it, and like they all were like laying, and it just reminded me of like a Royal Rumble moment when everyone's like catching their breath and just like
Everyone
that was like my biggest complaint about the fight scene.
like everyone gets their move. Everyone gets to get their move in.
Yeah,
it was kind of like that, but that last part was like my least favorite part of the whole scene. Like I thought he was gonna punch him or something, but then they just, even Carrie said it right when they hit the ground. She goes, "I guess they all hit each other." I was like, yeah, I guess they all hit each other, and they're just down on the ground. But up to that point, though, that fight scene was so fun to watch. I don't know if you heard the music. I mean, it's the same music from Civil War during the fight scene between Cap, Iron Man, and Winter Soldier.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was like they were mixing that into like this different score.
Nice.
And I just thought it was so cool. A lot of heaviness. Is like, what's going to happen here? I mean, they break his arm to get that shield off.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Broken wings.
Broken wings. He rips him just right off.
Yeah, that was badass.
And then the fight ends. Bucky picks up the shield, throws it at Sam, just basically saying, like, take this thing.
Should have just kept it in the first place.
Look at all this.
Yeah. Oh, John Walker was 2 seconds away from chopping Sam's head off with the shield.
Yeah, you mean whenever he like yelled,
I am Captain America.
Bucky with the save.
Oh my gosh, he was about to just murder him. The music was so intense. I was legit like nervous, even a second time through. Rips those wings. We'll talk about Cap in a minute. All right, so Sam takes the shield, leaves the wings behind. Did you guys think for a minute? What were you thinking during that scene when he leaves the wings behind?
That Joaquin is going to be the next Falcon.
Yeah, and now I've started to see things trickle into my feed about like this other Falcon type character. He's going to be the new Falcon because we think
like
probably right.
Probably not like this week. Maybe in a season 2 or down the line.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I'll get into that later. I have some more predictions that
like long term.
Not yet. I don't think because there's so much that still has to be resolved in this last episode.
Yeah,
I haven't seen runtime on it yet, but they need more time than that to get.
Yeah, it's not gonna be that. And I've already seen the speculation about season 2. I'm not gonna. I've seen that too. It's like there's too much stuff already circulating. Yeah. I've who knows? Maybe a new Falcon. But either way, he's like, I'm taking the shield. He goes back home. Before we get there, Sam does give Zemo over to the Dora Milaje in a very intense scene where he was like, I'm going to kill you, but then I didn't kill you. He like drops the bullets very dramatically.
Yeah.
Bucky.
What did I say?
You
Sam,
said Sam.
sorry. I was stuck on Sam for a minute.
No,
my focus is on Sam for right now because this episode's Sam heavy.
He killed it this episode. That's
just a high level. This is an episode about Sam. This is an episode about race. This is an episode about a hero's journey.
Yeah.
And like American history. Like there's a lot happening in this one. Mm-hmm. But yes, Bucky, he hands over Zemo to the Dora Milaje. That's cool. Do you have any thoughts on that scene, PC Mike? What do you think about Zemo and his exit? Were you like, oh, there goes Huey.
There goes Huey. I thought it was it tied up an end that kind of bugged me about, hey, we're just having Zemo just kind of hang out with us for this time.
Yeah, it's time to go back to jail.
Yeah, it's like, it's a little closure there. I have a lot of issues with this episode, but that was not one of them.
Okay, I can't wait to hear. Just jump in when it's time.
I mean, we'll get there.
Okay. I will say this. They mentioned that they're taking him to the raft. Do you remember the raft?
Uh-huh.
That was the underwater prison in Civil War.
I'm wondering who's in there now.
Oh, good question.
I don't know.
I went down a rabbit hole earlier saying that like there could be a play for a group of superhero bad guys called like the Thunderbolts.
I think that's a thing, right?
and it's like a thing in the comics.
But
And
I think it's like, are they setting that up? You think?
oh, that was this is a theory I saw
Yeah.
coming just being circulated. There's no confirmations of this.
No confirmations, but I
But-
saw the same thing.
But you get that general that runs the raft, the general that was in
It's like-
Incredible Hulk,
Yep.
and
it's Marvel's Suicide Squad.
that's what. Yes, exactly. He's got bad guys in cells. Put him to work. Who knows? Oh
Yeah.
no! Hey, keep these. These are all just maybes. These are all just like cool ideas. Because I mean, like you said, you're talking about season 2. I think about things in the forever MCU. Like
Yeah.
I think about things that'll come out 10 years
Yeah,
from now.
we haven't even said the word power broker yet, and we're halfway through the recap. And
You're
that's like the biggest question of the season.
And it's not even mentioned in this episode, right?
I mean,
we have some speculation.
Yeah.
I mean, all right. So let's move through. So John Walker. Let's talk about him for a minute. So he goes to this hearing.
That was a great scene.
Unbelievable scene. Stripped of his badges, stripped of his record, and stripped of his benefits.
Yeah.
Like you're broke now?
Yeah.
What was it, like one step below dishonorable discharge?
Yeah, they gave him a break. with
Not
that.
honorable discharge, like in the middle, basically.
This scene was crazy because, this is where I tried to play a little bit of PC Mike's game of like, I'm putting myself in this guy's shoes too a little bit. And he's like, I became exactly what you wanted me to be.
You made me
You made me. I did this, and now you were turning your back on me.
because it got publicized.
All right, so he storms out. They say, bring me that shield back. You guys ready to talk about this cameo?
Oh, yeah.
Someone's going to have to say the name for me because I always butcher it.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying the name of the girl that she plays. That's even longer.
Oh, yeah. I did write that down, actually. Oh, no, I meant to. Can you help us out? It's long. She goes by Val.
Contessa Valerie. Oh, I gotta miss it.
See if you can do it from memory, but no, Mike's got it.
Della
No.
Fontenegro.
That sounds
Very close.
Okay, go ahead.
Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
I'm gonna get out of the way. I don't know anything about this name. It's not a character to me. I'm not like a diehard Marvel Comics fan, so it means literally nothing to me. Otherwise, I just think that she's a bad guy.
She appears that way.
It appears that she's a bad guy.
She's definitely like it's just like she has all this information. Like she knows that he took the serum. I mean, she could.
She said it made you very valuable.
She could be affiliated with the power broker. That's
Right.
I think that's the most likely outcome. But obviously, I think she's going to be a pretty big thing in the MCU going forward.
Yes.
Like usually, they don't have people like that play just one-off things. So
Well, and she's already set herself up. Well, they've set her up as like this behind the scenes powerful
And
villain.
she was supposed to appear in Black Widow. I'm not sure. That was this is where I wasn't sure about how this was framed because
Interesting.
that was supposed to be the first time we saw her. So I don't know if she's still in it, but we just haven't seen her yet.
Right.
So like maybe we were already supposed to have seen her in some capacity at this point. So,
how funny to think about all these delays and how like they've already changed up a lot of the writing. I do have something to say about the storyline of this show that I heard on Jock and Nerd that will flesh out something that was removed that I think would have cleared some stuff up. So we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, I'm on her character biography for
Yeah.
she's basically can be good or bad.
Yeah,
Like a
she's
double
Well,
agent.
let's
She could
just-
be a double
super
agent.
spy.
And this is why I always like to look through the lens of like, well, what did we see in the episode? All right, she says, you're going to answer when I call. She also says, like, little dirty secret, that shield doesn't really belong to the government. I've always said that. I'm like,
Mhm.
that doesn't belong. I was like, it was made with Wakanda vibranium for Captain America.
Yep.
It's Steve Rogers' shield.
Yes.
But I guess the government paid for it. But Tony, didn't Tony's dad make it for him?
Was Tony's dad selling stuff to the government?
Or did he just make it on his own? And it's because she says it doesn't. Either way, she's just dropping tidbits of like, hey, none of this is what you think it is. They would have loved for you to kill these folks behind closed doors.
Mhm.
That's what she says. So
Which
she-
is true.
Which is totally true. They'd have been like, thank you. Yes. Just don't tell anybody.
I mean, this isn't a PG TV show.
And it's
Anymore.
like super deep, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's-
That's just overall like the mind F that I've had with myself about like why like agree like I actually during the handicap match between the three of them, like I still felt like kind of bad for him.
You're feeling
Yeah,
for this
for
guy.
John Walker. Like I'm like, why do I feel this way? But I mean, it's
Probably because we're like millennials too. So you start to, I feel like we're like the
And-
same age as him a little bit. He's just a little bit older.
Yeah.
Like Captain America was literally like out of this time.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know. I hear you. Like it really makes you think. You're like, whose side are you on here? Like, how did you feel whenever he like they took his stuff away? You're like, I kind of felt bad too. I felt like there was no dialogue. It was just like, no, you're done. And Carrie said it too. She goes, well, good job. You just made that super soldier super angry. Like, yeah. Like, but I don't think they knew that he had taken it.
No, they don't. Yeah,
No, they don't know.
Because that's what Val said.
They were like,
they don't know.
She's like, I know that you took it, but no one else does.
Yeah, because they were like, give us back the shield. Like he does. They don't even know that he doesn't have it. So
he has no idea.
And I don't think Sam and Bucky didn't like notify the government of that fight happening. So they probably are keeping that all on the DL too.
It's kind of like she said, like if they didn't know that you did this, you'd be fine.
Yes.
But now they do, so they got to make a big public statement about what they did to you to look better in the light.
And she said, second best decision you ever made was taking that serum. First one will be when I call you.
Yeah.
All right, let's move it down the line. Okay, so he goes to see Lamar's family too. We'll get that scene, and then we'll talk about when we see him again in the episode. All right, Carly and the Flag Smashers. We don't get a ton of them in this episode. It's basically, it's time. Like, it's time for the big plan. It looks like they're walking in on another safe house that's been dismantled, destroyed, and they say, we're going to attack the GRC, that Global Rebuilding Council. They're basically the World Council now. They're basically like the UN at this point. And there's this vote happening on moving 20 million refugees out of the country and how to do it. I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's a very
like, this is an insane topic to be just like, it's like, oh my gosh.
Very political.
Very timely.
Episode.
Like, what a time of like refugees. I also, like, we just talked about Thor Ragnarok. I was like, are these the Thor, the Asgardians? But no, they're in Norway. So I assume. Who are they talking about? There's 20 million refugees. Like, these are people that are displaced from countries.
Yeah.
Because of the blip.
That were just negatively affected, like came back and didn't have a
place
to go.
A place to go.
Yeah.
They don't have a home because someone else is like in it or it's not there.
Yeah.
Okay. And you hear the government politicians, you hear like all sides of it, of like, hey, we got to talk about the optics. And he says the optics or whatever we show him. Show everybody.
I mean, that's 2021 with stuff happening. Like,
that's just
crazy.
That's how the world works. Whatever you show us, I mean. Okay, so this is the big attack. And we haven't talked about Sam at all. I wanted to save it kind of for last because this is like the heaviest stuff. All right, so before he goes back home, he goes and talks to Isaiah Bradley. He's the African-American man that we met in the first episode? Second?
First or second.
First or second. Very early.
Basically, the super soldier that came after Captain America, and we get his whole backstory. Basically, very similar to Steve Rogers' backstory. I don't know if you guys remember how much you remember from Captain America, the first Avenger, but, you know, how did Captain America come to, like, get high? How did he move up rank? He saved all his friends from, like, a place, right, and brought him back and said, see what I can do?
Yep.
Okay, so that's exactly what happens to Isaiah Bradley. He overhears two of the people say, like, hey, our guys got captured. And it's two African-American men, and they say, well, we got to bomb that place and kill them to destroy the evidence. So he goes and saves them, brings them back. He says, you know what I got? Tortured, put in jail for 30 years. And there's a deep conversation with him and Sam about, what do you think would have happened? And Sam's like, you could have been the next. And he says, the next what? The next Captain America? He's like, they will never let a black man have this shield. And not only that, he's like, no self-respecting black man would carry it.
That was a dagger, for sure.
Yeah.
He's saying, like, if you're doing this, like, you're just standing on the shoulders. Like, you're just part of the system. You're just another guy turning a blind eye.
Yeah.
And this is the question that Sam is facing inside of, like, can I carry this shield? And when he does go back home, works on the boat for a while, finally works on that boat for his sister.
Soul searching.
For like 30 minutes, it felt like they were working on boats and doing stuff.
Multiple times, which this is the downtime. This is him and Bucky getting some bonding time. Bucky shows up, helps him, brings a gift from Wakanda. We'll talk about that in a minute. And Bucky apologizes to Sam and says, like, I didn't think about how it would feel for a black man to get this shield. And Steve or I never even thought about it, you know? And Sam even says, like, yeah, it doesn't matter what Steve thought. Like, he's just saying, he's like, it doesn't matter what you guys think. Like, that's the problem. He's like, you think it matters what you think, you know?
Deep.
Very deep. Good stuff for conversation. Like I said, I was excited to talk about this. This is stuff this is a superhero show.
Yeah.
All right, well, at the end of the day, we get an awesome training montage.
Yes.
What do you guys think about him throwing that shield around?
I just love how they're throwing it around like a frisbee, just like two buddies.
Two friends catching
Just
it.
knocking off 5 trees and going right back to him. Like, how does it do that?
And Sam gave Bucky some like therapy too. Helped him with his stuff a little bit.
He was sleeping on the couch and not like having nightmares.
He
So,
was just
like
hanging
after
with
that.
me.
They made a point to
call.
show that.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
call.
they made a point to show that. So it's like he's almost kind of at peace.
At peace.
He's getting back to a place, and he says to him, he's like, "Hey man, stop living for all these people. Stop living for Steve's past. Stop living for anything else. Just be yourself." All right. Am I missing anything before we get to this big finale here?
What about Sharon Carter?
Yes, let's talk about this scene that made 0 sense to me, even after the second time through. I'm trying to put it together. Giggler, why don't you just break it down? She takes a phone call and says, "I'll make it double this time."
She's talking to, remember in the first episode, the guy that Batroc the Leaper, the guy
Yes, the guy from Winter Soldier.
Sam is like fighting in the air.
Yes, fighting in the air. The
And
guy that Captain
he's
fought in Winter
like
Soldier.
wearing the one of those squirrel suits or whatever. He just got
flies.
murked and just flew. Like we were like, we don't know if he's dead or not.
Right.
But I guess he was in jail, and she is paying him to get out to work with the Flag Smashers. So we don't know.
She got him out.
Yes.
She got him out the first time, and she got him out
like,
the second time, and it cost her double. And he's the guy that showed up to help the Flag Smashers with their attack.
Yes, but like, why though? That's where his intentions are to kill Sam. But why would she?
What do you think?
I don't think she's bad. I think she has another game plan of some kind.
She's playing like another kind of role.
But I don't know. Like at first I thought she might be the power broker because of like how they were like hinting at like weird stuff going on with her. But
yeah,
I don't think that's it. I think that they're trying to misguide us to that. Misdirect us. But I still don't know who the power broker can be, and I don't know what her play is, to be honest.
Yeah, and it was such a short scene too. It was her only scene.
I didn't catch it the first time. Then I watched it again, and I was like, okay. And I looked it up, and somebody on Reddit said something about how if you turn the closed caption on, you can see who she was talking about, what language I think that they were speaking, and that's what Batroc is. So, and then
now
he just pops up out of nowhere, and it's like, I want to kill the Falcon.
Yeah, and he's got like a grudge against the Falcon.
Yeah. So why would she do that?
PC Mike, you've been quiet today on this one. What do you think? We still got an ending to talk about. You want to wrap it up real quick and then
I have no idea about that part.
Okay, all right, let's wrap up.
None.
Let's wrap up the ending then and give
That's too deep.
I want to get some thoughts on the show. So the ending is GRC is getting attacked, and Sam says it's time to go to work. He's been training. He's ready to go. He's got the shield. As far as we know, he doesn't have his wings, but he has this package from Wakanda, and he opens it up, and this is the last scene before it ends. I mean, I'll just say what I think is in it. I think it's going to be like a red, white, and blue wingsuit.
Yeah,
gotta be.
And he's going to come out. This is
something with some sweet tech.
Sweet tech. Well, it's going to be vibranium wings now.
Jesus,
they're not
Can
breaking.
You imagine?
They're not breaking.
Yeah,
but they can. But can they control his wings? Just like they did with Bucky's arm.
I think he's got like a major upgrade right now.
Yeah. You think he's got a new a Red Wing?
Yeah, I bet he does.
I guarantee it. He does.
I guarantee it.
Sure.
He loved having that thing.
Yeah.
And they like made a point to have it in the show.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
Any other theories? Are we like? Is there anything?
That's got to be it.
It's got to be it, right?
I'll be pissed if it isn't.
Because here's the line of that happening. Bucky gives him the shield. Says like, take it. You know, when they beat Captain America, and then like he gets that made. He gets something made for him. In my mind, okay, there you go.
So you don't think he has the shield and the?
Yeah, I think he has both.
Okay.
But
gotcha.
Let's just go talk about the mid-credit scene.
Oh yeah.
Which there's a mid-credit scene. I didn't know till the second time through.
Yeah,
it got me again.
I should have texted you guys.
John Walker is in a Iron Man like.
That was my first thought.
Yeah,
it was
cave.
so much like.
Yeah, it's like Iron Man going to work on his stuff because he's got like I guess that side of him in a little bit. He's blacksmithing his own shield.
Yeah, it's like a bitch Captain America shield.
Oh, like
it's made
the biggest ripoff of the shield. Like he puts his own little star on it, and
his medals. Yeah,
Carrie was like, "Oh, he's making his own shield," and I was like, "Yeah." And but then he starts painting it, and you're like, "Oh shit!" It's like coming together. So he's gonna be showing up too.
Yeah.
Let's go and talk about what's going to happen in the finale, Andy. Just tell us. And actually, no, before we get there.
Well, then I think
I got to hear some Giggler, PC Mike thoughts.
wasn't there.
You said you had some holes in this, or like?
I just didn't love it. If I'm being honest.
Fair. Yeah, fair. Wow.
Wasn't there like the sound? Was it something like the sound him banging on him building that shield? There was not an end credit scene in Endgame, right?
In
Infinity War, I think did not have one.
No, Infinity War had one. It was It was Nick Fury.
I think there's a theory out there that I saw, and I'm not sure.
Go ahead.
You could hear the bang, like him banging on that thing. It's at one of the ends of the movies.
Oh my gosh!
Like him making the shield. It's at one of the ends of the movies. You don't see anything,
Yeah.
but you hear it lightly in like a background.
I can't remember.
What?
Maybe it was Endgame because that's a tribute to Robert Downey Jr. After Endgame, there's no end credit scene, but at the end you can hear like the Iron Man, the sounds like that of him making his first suit.
But so they don't know.
But it sounds exactly like that's because.
But why would they put that at the end of Endgame?
I think they're just trying to. So this is kind of one of the other theories that I saw. So I guess maybe potential future spoiler alert.
Well, these are theories. At
yeah,
this
just
point.
theories. But so he could be leading something called the Dark Avengers.
Yes. Okay, I heard about
so
this.
like, obviously that sound is attributed to like the beginning of the Avengers because it's the beginning of Iron Man. So maybe him making this new shield is his beginning of the Dark Avengers.
Yeah, for sure.
That could be sort of affiliated with like the Thunderbolts that you talked about earlier.
What is his? I guess his wife's just gonna leave him.
Oh yeah, she's
done because she's been trying to be the voice of reason for him, and like now he's just off making this shield. He's just gonna come out and be a bad guy.
He's forged and fired in his backyard.
So yeah, John would appreciate that.
Quench.
There's gonna be another, like he's gonna show up in a new suit, probably
his own suit
at the GRC to try to kill Carly and the Flag Smashers, probably.
Yeah, he's gonna try to get revenge for Lamar. That's his big thing right now because he's been lying.
So this is like an anti-hero for the Marvel universe.
Yeah, like he has like this mission that
like
is like good. He's like a good guy. He was from the military, but he was wronged.
Like he's the Punisher, but Captain America style.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Like that's exactly the way to look at it. Is like this might just be like this character will probably surprise all of us.
He's out for revenge, but you still, like we've been talking about, like you feel for him in a way.
Yeah, like he's got a journey in front of him.
Yeah.
And I think you're totally right. It's not wrapping up this episode. I think by the end of this episode, he talks to Val, and like that's a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I know we still have one to go, but
yeah, there's one to go.
I was thinking about this today.
Go ahead.
Out of the 3 Disney Plus shows that we've really watched, The Mandalorian, WandaVision, and this is distant third for me as enjoyment.
Oh wow! Like overall so far. Okay.
Yeah, overall, I mean,
what's missing for you? And is this just not your type of stuff too? Because it's also like I've always been the same way as you. Like I like magic and space more than like I've always liked Guardians of the Galaxy more than The Winter Soldier. You know? I
mean, even IMDb is kind of like that. This only has a 7.7.
I mean, I feel like that's not bad for
the C.
Yeah. Well,
spoken like a true teacher.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's like a C plus.
WandaVision, I think, was like an 8.1.
All right, that's fair. Maybe this. Well, I hope it wraps it up. I hope it bumps it up for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think a lot can hinge on how this ends. I don't think it'll.
But will it end?
I don't think it'll disappoint.
I think that it's going to be at least an ultimate climax for this fight. Who knows what's going to happen? I know that here's the big thing that I heard on Jock and Nerd about a storyline that was missing was that because of the rescheduling and because of everything that happened with the pandemic, there was an original storyline with like a pretty bad virus outbreak.
Oh, yeah, can't do that.
And that played a big part of the Flag Smashers' overall like struggle. So like I've always felt like their mission feels so empty.
Yeah, it does. Like that makes sense.
And like not to say like it needs the final product needs to be what it is. So like shoulda coulda it isn't going to cut it. I hear you. There is like that side of things. Yeah. But like here's how I have always felt about these movies. You all right?
I'm coughing. Mountain Dew went down the wrong hole.
Good thing we know you got V.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah, that's the new thing. Sorry to call you out.
I did though. I did.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. Hey, we all are now at this point, and now it's like it's happening all around us. Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's see how it ends. I'm kind of like I've never got too hung up on like the backstory of this. I just like I said, this is what happens whenever you chop something up into 6 pieces and we talk about it each week.
You
kind of tear it apart a little.
Do you guys think there's a chance that Steve makes an appearance in episode 6?
I mean, now
Or
there's been no
or if he's even alive. I don't know.
Yeah, because Sam says to Bucky in this, Steve's gone.
He's gone. He doesn't say he's dead. So we're gonna see him eventually.
Steve's in Florida. He's retired.
as old man.
You think so?
I think he's in space.
I don't know.
He's in
and
space,
and nothing's came out. Like no big.
No.
I'm purely just guessing.
But Andy's called a lot.
No, I'm just saying. Like, there's not even a rumor of a huge cameo, Luke Skywalker level cameo. Even with the Mandalorian, we knew that something huge was going to come.
That's true.
That's a whole other thing. I'm pissed about how they keep announcing the cameos before they're going to happen. Just please let us be surprised. It's fun to speculate, but like I would have been way more excited about a Elaine Bennis appearance in the MCU than I was during this, because I was expecting something huge again. But even though I tempered my expectations the whole time, I thought it was going to be a young Isaiah Bradley in like flashbacks. But
the more I look at that actor, is he an old man or is he a young man? And they got him all.
He's an old man
because he looks pretty stacked.
Well, maybe he'll be. That's why I said maybe he'll just suit up and
like maybe he shows up.
Yeah, maybe I won't
be
wrong.
Up. Him and Sam throw the shield back and forth.
Just let's have a catch.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. Either way, I think the Flag Smasher story trickles down and like maybe goes away, or maybe there's just lingers. But it's gonna be Sam being Captain America, taking on the GRC. Bucky's gonna be there. The new Cap's gonna be there. Oh, I bet War Machine comes back.
Oh yeah,
Rhodey.
Yeah, I think we'll see
some more
Chris
Avengers.
Evans back. Old Chris Evans,
okay,
but not in this show. I think it'll be in a future movie.
Okay,
so it's too big of a thing for a show.
Okay,
I feel like they're saving stuff like that for movies.
All right, fair enough. Any final thoughts? Any other final predictions before we wrap up this episode and wait for the big finale next week?
No predictions. Hoping for the best.
Yeah,
because I want it to turn. I think it's enjoyable.
I think this next episode, I hope that it's like the payoff for all of us type thing. Because like I don't get caught up in the story. I miss stuff because like I'm like I just don't care as much about like the backstory, like about like all these side characters and stuff. I just don't get as into it. So I hope that we have a lot of action, some big names, and it just looks fucking cool.
Yep.
All right, Falcon Winter Soldier. That was episode 5, titled Truth. You were right. It was 61 minutes, Andy, right on the dot.
Give us just a 2-hour finale, or maybe
bump it up.
Just like play it and then be like, "Hey guys, just kidding. There's 7 episodes. You'll have another one next week."
That's the kind of that would be cool, but it's not gonna happen.
I know.
All right, we'll talk about it all next week. Let us know what you think, and we'll feature it during next week's episode when we talk about the big finale. Premieres this Friday. If you're listening today on Thursday, it's tomorrow. I'll be watching bright and early. Subscribe to that newsletter at mostlysuperheroes.com or on Patreon for Logan's letter, an exclusive fresh reaction of the episode right when it comes out. It's before this episode, so you get like my fresh take, like right when I come off the episode. Just go on there and rant. Go subscribe at mostlysuperheroes.com. Here's a quick look at the calendar again. 2021, June 11th, Loki's coming. July 9th, Black Widow. And I can't wait to see this What If series animated. It's coming. And then we got that Shang-Chi trailer today. So that's coming September 3rd. Hopefully that doesn't come too quick because that means we've already gone through summer. Take our time getting there.
Yeah, let's pump the brakes.
I'm sure the teacher definitely wants to.
Let's enjoy this.
Let's
just bask.
Let's go nice and slow on the summertime. We'll be talking about all the MCU every single week. Let's talk about what's coming up.